All right, we're gonna start um, practicing our trades from the beginning of the week, Monday. So here we have 8:30 in the morning, the 1 minute chart and the daily chart on the left, on the right. So maybe I should have it the other way. I'll just do it like that for now. The reason I have it like this is because I used to use Weeble, and Weeble would be blocking the daily, which is fine because I would mark the levels. But we'll start by marking our yesterday's close or the day prior. That's how I like to mark it, with that line. And then I'll mark the other parts of the candle in same color, same lines. Um, is it missing some? We got this one, this one, this. Okay, so the top one is all the way up there. And I like to mark the average max move. So this stock, Tesla, can move up or down 5% from the close of the prior day. And in this particular morning, we're already down like 2%. So the question is this going to close the gap, or where it is right now, continue lower? Okay, so from where it is right now, will it continue lower or close the gap? This was Monday. I don't remember what happened. I really don't. I don't want to cheat and look through my notes because I could, or I could open an app on my phone on TradeView and cheat and see what happened. But this is me learning again how to, you know, I get nervous when I see these setups and I freeze. So I don't want to freeze. I want to train my mind to act. And so I think I kind of remember something of what happened. All right, so we got this big
It's
move.
10:45.
And that obviously, because this is, I'm practicing on a Sunday, February 8th, but I'm looking at February 2nd. Let me see if I'm getting the whole screen. Uh, yeah, I'm getting enough of the screen. Enough of the screen to matter. Okay, so what do we do with this? So we are below the entire candle, and it it can either bounce here and go down. It can break above it, reject, bounce, and do this, and then back up to the 0% line. That's closing the gap. But I am more of a reactive trader where I'm first gonna go for this one, then I'm gonna try to see a rejection of the entire body, because we're below a green candle. In this case, yellow is green and purple is red. I am a little bit colorblind, so the red and green don't really work with me. So it could fail this wick and go through it and reject the body. The rejection of the body is a little stronger, and we can reach down to cover the body of the other candle. That gives us this room to move. Yeah, so I first will try this one and then this one. So I'm willing to see a. Let me turn on my fan. It's gonna be loud in here. I'm willing to get in before it even touches this level and get a $3 move or lower, or get our target. Let me mark our target with the white line. There you go. That's our target. But if it doesn't, it stops me out immediately. I will look for a retest type of entry where it wicks in and closes below, and that's another entry. Try it again. If it fails, which I will need smaller size because the first entry is normal size. We close, so we don't lose that much right at the entry. We just lose on the slippage because I'm using market orders, and I'll lose a little bit of delta. And then the other one, because I'll answer as soon as it reclaims the level. So it wicks through, reclaims it, answer as the candle has still not closed, or I could wait for it to close. That's the tricky part to decide, but I'd rather just wait for it to reclaim and see the price kind of like holding for a bit and then down. If not, I'll stop out as soon as it stops me out at the level, the wick high, and then we'll retry this one again. So as far as the pre-market, there's a lot of stuff going on here. The pre-market doesn't really have, it just has sideways movement. This is not necessarily a trend because it's wedging. This is wedging. This is not trend up or trend down. This is wedging. This broke, which you could try and test the pre-market. For pre-market, I do purple. So you could try and I try sometimes to retest. This is not financial advice. Uh, I try sometimes to retest this level, but it's so close that um, it's not a trend. So because it's not a trend, I don't really trust it. And as soon as it breaks, it's probably gonna wick through this entire area. So a stronger, more reliable way to answer it is either this level or this level. The way up, maybe pre-market high, is also a possibility to then close above. That's another option for me. It goes like higher retest, but we still got this. The cat. This daily candle is way stronger. It's way stronger than this idea of the daily high and the weekly market high. Like it's much stronger, and this move, though it could happen, I want to see this fail first, or maybe bounce within, or maybe do this, right? And it could also do that, or initially is this. So let's see. Um, let's see. Let's find out. We'll do one by one. So we'll do our first candle. Wow. So that was the pre-market rejection. Ah, that hurts because I didn't. I called it that it could happen, but I didn't do it. So that hurts a lot. It hurts a lot, a lot, a lot. It hurts a lot when I don't. There's so many ideas. I mean, this should have been the first idea I tried because the first one that appears. But I'm like, no, it's stronger. Wait for this instead. So definitely a tough spot to be in because that would have been very easy. That would have been just this. small room to small risk reward ratio target, but if you do the whole target, that's nice return. The delta would have been I usually go for like 4.15 around there for $1 stop range, but this is half, so even a 35 or a 30 would have been good. I could probably open the trade tab. Let's see. And I could do deltas of like 15, and then 15 could be like one contract. Let's just do. Let me do 10. I won't take more than two tens, and that should have been a sell. Um, but okay, now that we're there, can we find another entry? Maybe bounce off the low of that room to move, or it could even continue lower if we have more room to move, which we do. Look at all that room. We have all this room to go down. If we want to get crazy, that's the middle of this room to move is fair, because we're already pretty far into this area below the 0% line. It's overextended. By this point, it's overextended. Five, we'll do five. It's just the max. I don't, beyond five is just something would have to really be up in the news or a catalyst. But we're already like more than halfway through. Uh, I would just wait to see if we bounce off this level. But I think it's already a late move and nothing much can happen. See, it's pretty much already gonna fulfill there. It touched that target. Is it gonna bounce off of that? And yes, see, it bounced. It bounced. It bounced. It bounced. And after that, it's just noise mostly. Yeah. You could say kind of reject, but like even after 9:30, it's already like slow. We could change this so you can see. At this point, it's like just sideways and unpredictable and frustrating. It doesn't really matter where it goes at that point. I mean, yeah, maybe you could have held way higher, right? Way, way higher. And we're about to close. Boom. All right, so I mean, yeah, that bounce would have been a good entry to hold all the way, I guess, up here. The target being, damn, where is this? Yeah, within the body of the previous day. So, yeah, um, there was so many entries. I wanted the stronger entry better. I wanted this one better, this level. I wanted the low of the wick more, and the body rejection of the body. That's what I wanted more. But we ended up getting a weaker kind of entry, which is a pre-market, which is a valid one. It just didn't trust my instinct, even though I saw it as like, oh, it's a possibility. I did not trust my instinct. Okay, so remove drawings. So if we were to go back and do it again, this is, oh well, I gotta do the how do you, oh yeah, right here. If you do it again, if it was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen, I'm a wizard. It's like, okay, I broke this. We draw our line where it broke. and we just wait for a retest of that line, and that's our entry, right? So it'd be like, because it's so fast, um, we don't even get to do the simulated trade because it's it's um it's within 1 minute. It's within 1 minute, and it's within 1 minute. So yeah, I guess you could pretend to have, do it ahead of time if you want to see what the profit would have looked like. Sell how much we would have sold there. Like we would have sold uh, two. We would have sold two of them because the stop range was really small, and then our target, obviously, the best target is this one right here, right? And yeah, like we see it play out. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, you make 118 if it was 20 shares shorted. And then, boom, we buy just one. Well, we stop. Well, we close it out. That's what we do. We close it out. I don't know. And boom, 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 boom. La, 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 la. I don't know why it's not. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, for the upside, I don't see a specific target. I mean, the target would be probably, like, yeah, the bottom of this wick, which is here already. And yeah, that would have been taken already. Going higher is, I mean, you leave some shares maybe. The upside made more. But I don't know how to close this. Whatever. Uh, this is so weird. And then we got a sell independently. Okay. Strange. Wait, what? Do I have to click it or what? Alright, this is the confusing part. Let's close this. Please leave. Like, I mean, just do this and it'll go away. There. Anyway,
It's
so
11 o'clock.
yeah, now we gotta go back to the next day. Practice that. Gotta wait for it to get to 8:30. Or you can change it to like 5 minutes. It goes by way faster. So 8:30. If you want to pass it, mark it with this right there, and then just do this. Da, 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 da. I would say give yourself. I'd like to give myself, 30 minutes, 15 minutes extra before it closes, because I want to be able to see what I realistically would be seeing during a trade. Let's change this back to 1 minute. It's clear. Move forward drawings. Now we mark this new previous candle, and with obviously our color consistency, blue dash, and then change. Draw the solid ones right here. Now we got a double wick in the bottom. Okay, that's kind of useful. All right, now let's start another one. This is me just practicing my train of thoughts. Again, I draw my 5% up or down. I just do the 5% down, which is very far. $20 move. Yes, Tesla can definitely do $20 moves. Um, yeah, and those are definitely retraceable. I mean, this is kind of noise, but this yellow, yellow, yellow could be retraced pretty easily. Right here, it gapped up. It's a big gap. That could be a good place to sink down as well. But let's mark that. Well, it's more noise when it's like an immediate retrace, so you're just constantly ranging. All right, so what do I see pre-market? Pre-market, okay, I see resistance here. And if it's resisting there, then it's probably going to resist again. It resists here, it resists there, it resists, resist, resist. So we got a level we can bounce off of if, and we're not that far from it. Look, I'm only one, two, three, $4 away from it. But if it breaks above it, then it's also a nice strong move. Maybe this was what I was thinking last time when I was looking at this, and then I still got messed, still got screwed. I, yeah, I need to work on this stuff. So this is not necessarily a trend. I mean, I could mark it if I want, but does it mean anything? Nah, not really. All right, I want to see dollar intervals. Let's get closer. I don't think it skips 10 when I do this. Yeah, still one by one. Let's get close to 830. Because if it broke that, meaning is it going to retest this? And we change that to purple or pink, whatever. They're both P, pre-market. And is it going to retest and go higher? If it goes higher, is there room to move on the upside? There kind of is. There's some liquidity up here that can happen. I don't really remember what happened, but the idea is to clear my mind. What do I want to see happen first? And this is where all the noise in my head, it's chaotic, and time is just passing as I don't make a decision. What I gotta do is just test it out. I gotta first test this one, see if it So first we test this one to then go here, and then reject here, go back to 0% line. And that's the target. And then we start ranging sideways. That's one. We can retest and then break, retest, and go higher. And target will be somewhere in the middle of like there seems to be some supply here. So there's up moves, there's down moves, but the one that I feel more strong about, not feel, I see is more strong, is the rejection of here. And retarget the 0%. So what that looks like is more like this. I give that $1. I say it doesn't even touch. Wait, what am I looking at? Okay, look at this. Give it $1 to move. Well, actually, I'm not gonna. I'm just doing this so I can do the $3, which is right there. I'll try to capture 2 of this. Boom, that. So we'll try to capture this move. And I think this is what I did last time. And I was probably still wrong. Um, but let's see, how wrong was I? Huh. So the first candle. Alright, so we failed the pre-market. I should have zoomed in. It failed the pre-market. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this again. So take it candle by candle. I wasn't looking at time. So I did get a clue ahead of time, so that's cheating. But this pre-market tells us it failed. So what? So if it failed, think fast. What are we looking at now? What are we looking at now? Bounce off this. It's a very thin body. Very thin body. What do you do with a thin body? Maybe nothing's gonna happen. Oh, well, look. I think it's a good target is this bottom part. Just because it's insignificant body, the pre-market failed. Uh, the entry, the entry is not known anywhere. Yeah, there's no entry. That's not an entry. I mean, yeah, this would be an entry for sure right here. That actually is an entry. Um, something like that. Something like that. This one failed. And 2 contracts reclaim this spot. Reclaim this high. So bounce off the body. I think that's what it's gonna be. Bounce off the body, and then go to the supply. Let's see. So let me mark it out. I think that's what I remember, which is still technically cheating. So get in here. Get in there, actually. Let me try again. So we get in here, and we target that. And then, I don't know, we just go sideways probably. So we buy. So buy here. So let's buy. Just one. Just one. And then boom. Oof. It retested. Okay. Alright, so I would have been stopped out. It retested the bottom of the body. As soon as I close, why am I not thinking that way? Like, okay, retest this one or retest that one. So failure there, big time. But that was the entry right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm being so wrong. I am so wrong, so wrong, so wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. This tells you I shouldn't even be trading it with real money. What am I missing? What am I missing here, man? Oof. What's missing? What's wrong? What's the erroneous logic that I'm playing with? Look at all this mess. I can't even make anything up here. I trying to invent a trade out of my butt. Uh, yeah, this is a mess. This is not a day to be. This is probably not a day to be trading. But I would try to just wait for this if it reaches. Otherwise, I got nothing to do in this middle range. It's too messy. Too messy. I have no business in this area. No business. Shoot, man. Okay, I mean that's a trend break, but it's already like 9:25. You know, an entry would be like at a retest of that. Was that a retest? Maybe. Oof. I guess you can say that was a no-touch retest. If you want to say, if you want to say that's a no-touch retest, that's not really validation. That's tough. Cause yeah, I would have gone in if it was gonna like touch inside, but that's a no-touch retest, which I only apply to bounces that are on lines. I mean, this is technically a line, right? It becomes a line after the break. Very tough, honestly. And I don't want to do that, like retest, no touch retest. And in that situation, yeah, like it would have been, you know, just an automatic $1 stop range that I would have not done. I would have just gotten out immediately, and then, like, let's say I get in like 50 cents before it touches or around there. How far is this? From the break to the wicks, that's a 20 cent, 21 cent leeway. So I stop out as soon as it breaks this one, and then just let it do its thing, reclaim the top, get in, and then that becomes a structural stop range. In the situation, no touch is an automatic $1 stop range, which gives us this risk reward ratio box, and take profit around here. And then if you want, you can try to aim for 2, but what I don't see like an actual reason or target, because look, now we touched that area. That should have been like a rejection area. That's been rejecting pre-market and the prior day. So very confusing, very difficult spot, to be honest. Very difficult. Ah, man. Yeah, so that would just happen for the rest of the day. Oh man. And what ends up happening eventually? Boom. This ends up happening. Like, I know what it could reach, and it reaches it. I just don't know where to enter. And I guess you can say, look, that area where it was gonna reject, it technically did reject, but it, it went through it a lot. It's where are we in the daily? Man, it went through it a lot. Reject, failed to retest. So I guess that's the part where it went up, down, it closed up, it didn't do a retest, so it's like it's failing. It's well, we're gonna come back up and fail it again. So there's probably people there like thinking, okay, break out, and it failed to break out. Now people are confused. Ah man, disillusion. Like that sucks. And then people see where it ripped from. It ripped from here. So like, well, let's try this part. Oh yeah, it's working. It's working. You know what? We're reaching a part where it just didn't work. So maybe we'll try it again. But if it doesn't, we'll do a bounce retest. So boom, breaks, fails again. Like disillusionment. But this part here is like, well, let's wait for a rejection to re-enter, and then boom, and then people that got in there, which really late, 11 a.m. I'm already working, and I'm not looking at the computer. That's people that really can tolerate looking at the screen for a long time. And look at that, they get rewarded, big time, big time. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, trading is really tough. I wish it was more straightforward. It's not. Now let's get rid of that thing. Change it to the 1 hour. And then you can do this. Wait. See, I'm already cheating. I'm looking at what's going to happen. Let me change this to a 15-minute. See, I'm already cheating. Cheating. Ooh. Cheater. Alright, 1 minute. One minute. All right. I don't expect anybody to be watching. Yeah. Okay. Uh, so 2 L's in a row of not knowing what the heck I'm doing. We are in a choppy area. man. Ugh. You just gotta. I just gotta like not think about because I'm constantly thinking like I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. Let's not lose. Not lose. Not lose. Not lose. And when you think that way, you don't take action and you miss out. So by not wanting to lose, you miss out. I miss out. And then when I don't want to miss out, I when I think don't miss out, don't miss out mentality leads to taking bad trades. And bad execution. And then when I'm thinking, don't do random trades, don't like be perfect, leads to uh, missing out. Be perfect, don't lose. So that's the cycle. I think don't lose mentality leads to missing out. And then don't miss out mentality leads to losing in bad trades. And then losing in bad trades leads to be perfect, don't lose again. And then leads to missing out. And then, so instead of saying don't, it's execute correctly, execute correctly, execute correctly. As long as I'm executing correctly and my chain of thought is correct, I will take losses, which are necessary to then find the right trade. So it's constant losing and adjusting and eventually getting to the point of executing so well that the small losses are erased by the big gains. Execute flawlessly. Execute flawlessly. That's what I gotta tell myself. Execute flawlessly. So here we are. We're gonna try to execute flawlessly. Execute flawlessly. 5% line. Yeah, that's very far. So now we got a big. We have supply here. Sorry, we got demand here, which we can probably break and capture this. Move down here. Change this to white. That's a potential target. We are below the candle, which is a good sign. We can reject that and reach that target, and then because we're in a bottom spot and we've been trending down, we likely will go lower and lower and possibly touch that white line. But I don't want to go all the way and wait for that. Let's do halfway. I think halfway would be better. Halfway out this like kind of choppy area. This is kind of choppy. But if this one fails, then we try this one and do the same. I don't want to try the upside because we are below a candle, so I'm gonna go with that. Pre-market wise, well, we got this kind of going on, or we could try this. What's a real pivot? This is a real pivot, and this is also a real pivot. I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, go with that one. If it breaks, then I form the line. Let's do candle by candle. Okay. All right, broke the candle. What does that mean? We're about to get to 8:30. All right, that's 28. It's right at the line. Not doing much. We broke it, so yeah, we gotta draw this line. This is the practice I never do, which I should be doing, but I never do.
It's 11:30.
This is probably the only practice that matters, and I never do it. That's why I'm never improving. I just look at screenshots like, oh, that's the answer, which is never gonna help because I'm not using my brain to recreate the situation and recreate my solution. Because trading involves a lot of recreating solutions, recreating if then, remembering if then statements. Let me write that down. Practice the recreation of solutions based on situations. The type of trading I'm doing is a little too complex. It probably would go over even a professional's head. Not saying that I'm not a professional. I'm not saying I'm a professional. I'm saying a professional would say this is very dumb, and they wouldn't be wrong because a professional focuses on things that actually works. I'm focusing on things that I think work. That so a professional knows what they're doing. I am just gambling at this point. But let's see. First candle, that's 29. Let's see if we get a rejection. Okay. That's also another pre-market entry. Didn't even prepare for that. It would look something like this. It's already close to the exit. Boom, it would have been taken. That would have been profit right there. Boom. And then there's that big old move, which is counts as a retest of the 0% line. Ooh. Are we going to retest the top of the body? Yes, that's a good spot. That's what I would do. Automatic $1. You get the $3, and then back down to this area right here. Boom. What did I tell you? Wizardry. Yep, 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 yep. Is it gonna hit the target? Yup. What's up? This was the better entry. This one, it hit a target, right? But there's more liquidity here. I'm just making that up, honestly. But a better retest, yeah. The bias is down. That's what I'm saying. The bias is down. The body contains liquidity. Going above the body is bullish, which contradicts where it opened. It opened below the body. Staying within the body is good. And look, that's a no touch entry. 20, 30 cents within my 50. I would have gotten in 50 cents. Stopped out if we get close, and then watch for a retest. So, how many contracts would that have been? That would have been one. So, one, two, three, four, five. Like close to six. So 5 contracts. I do not take that much contracts because it's beyond my count limits. I could take it, but it's not within my strategy. It's not. It goes against the rules of bankroll management. But that's a grindy move. It took from 8:30 to almost 10:30. 2 hour wait. A frustrating morning, right? I would have never anticipated this move. For sure, I got in 2 contracts, stop out immediately. Wait to retest this one. Got in, would have got in somewhere here. Stopped out immediately again. And then test this one out. Stopped out or hold, because that's the hard part. Hold ugh, or stop out right at the line. Yeah. See, this one is, I think, 50 cents away from the entry. Yeah, it's close to 50 cents. So that one I would have entered here. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Um, follow your hold rules. Follow your hold rules. Ooh, it's going against me. Boom, still right, still right. Okay, 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 okay. I would have probably gone out early here, around here, and then missed out on this entire move. That's usually how it goes for me. Yeah, so in this situation, we're trending down, right? We're trending down. We open below the red candle. So looking for weakness entries. Weakness entries justified. Strength or weakness entries. Strength or weakness entries. That's what, we're trying to aim for, find. Alright, now let's go to, we could look at what would have happened the rest of the day. Oh my goodness, it would have gone lower. Lower and lower. Oh, wowies. Wow. Oh. Yeah. And we close. And wait for. There we go. And gapped even lower. Wow. Change back to 1 minute intervals. Yes, there we go. And I think this is Thursday. 2 more days. 2 more days. Alright. Oh, this is taking how long? That's probably why I don't like to do it, but I should do it because it does take time to do it. And all I want to do is work. This is supposed to be blue. Change solid. So this is intuition trading, which is the dumbest form of trading. It is the most stressful form of trading. So what do we got now? We got a huge gap. From the open, 5% would be around here. And guess what? Yes, this area right here is definitely achievable. Definitely a place where it could bounce. Definitely a place where it could bounce. Also, definitely a place where it could just sink through like butter. Maybe the next day, stuff like that, you know. So solid target. This is just random line. Solid target. Yeah, would be around these wicks. Solid targets are white. We are here. What do you do with this? This is 8. Let's get closer to 8:30. Yeah, what do you do here, man? Well, it's trending down, right? We're going sideways. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe this. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's very likely. This one I do remember because it's the most recent one. Without even looking, it's going to basically it's downtrending. It's going to do equal highs, equal lower highs, right? and it's gonna try to trend up, kind of close the gap, and it's gonna fail, and then from there you get in. So the entry, would be uh, something like that. Give it $1, and obviously do that. So that I already know what's gonna happen. This was the most recent one. Um, that's a bad thing about practicing. I mean, this is Sunday practicing. Thursdays is pretty fresh in my mind. Yeah, so it's gonna do that stuff. So it's gonna chop around for a bit before eventually making its way down. I wouldn't go for closing the gap. I would go instead for reaching this liquidity zone and see what happens. Watch. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Well, I mean, it's good to know where I would have been tricked. You know, I my mind, if I had not seen this before, I'd be like, oh, look, reject this level, reject it, retest it, and yes, that's if you want to try, fail, try, succeed, then that's what it takes. There we go. Some ways we got boom, boom. What's going on? There we go. See, now we're going to that spot. Oh, oh, that's where you get in, get in, get in, get in, because we're going down.
It's 11:45.
Hit the target, hit the target, hit the target, hit the target. No, 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 we're not hitting the target. And we did not hit the target. Boo. Well, you take profits obviously here and so forth. But it was a bounce off of what? So we didn't really have a spot that it necessarily bounced off of. It just double bottomed. Well, it formed a new trend, that's for sure. I mean, when you're taking a trade, you're looking for a direction, right? You're looking for a direction. Does it stay in that direction? Direction. When you enter a trade, you're expecting it to go in a direction. And continue direction until it chops or forms another direction to follow. Writing this down, right? Because we did equal highs, and yeah, I went down. That was just straight down, and then boom, we got a pivot, higher low. Got this noisy, and the pivot that's more solid, higher low, higher highs, and then boom. That's probably the spot to enter would be, this pivot right here, closing this little micro pivot, boom, right there, enter, and then capture what, like, so enter, close above that micro high, stop out. That's a huge stop range, but look at this, we capture this. The delta is smaller because it's a huge stop range, so my delta would probably be like $7, and yeah. So this one was fresh on my mind. Now let's try the other fresh one in my mind. Let's see how that one looks. Oh, that one. Yeah, I remember how that one looks. I don't even have to. Um, let's do 4 hours to do it really fast. 1, 2. Is that already the another day? The next day? I don't know. Change it to 1 hour. Ah, cheating. That's a bad part about doing this shit. When you go too ahead. That's good enough. Let's change this to 1 minute. Okay. Alright, we are kind of doing this. Kind of doing that. Not really. It's. Boom, 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 boom. Where are we gonna go from here? It's trending higher, so I'm guessing continue the trend higher. That's what should have popped in my head. Trending higher, so we're trending a bit higher. We continue. We want to continue that, and then we mark our our lines, the rest of the lines. Where is? Let me see. We mark that high. That's the high. Oops, cancel. Solid. Solid. And then the body is so small that why even mark it? They're so next to each other. It's like, look at that. Boom. So what do we do from there? I mean, this body's right there too. That one, other day. Other day starts with O, so we do orange. O for orange. O for other day, orange. I'm already tired. So let's get rid of this. Yeah, because it messes up with the view. So I mean, I probably could do. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah, that works. Yeah, apply that there. Yeah, there we go. Well, let's change this to like 1, and I don't want to. There you go. That's better. Yeah, these are too thin. These candles, they gotta have like a. Is there a way to make this thing? Symbol borders. Yeah, I want the wicks to be more thicker. They're so thin, man. Yeah, the wicks are too thin. How do you make the candle wicks thicker? That's something I should look up. How to make a killing. How to make paper snowflakes. How to make trade view candle wicks thicker. Control Command scroll to zoom in, or volume candles, or use volume candle which can make wicks look more prominent. Huh? Because if I zoom in, it doesn't make it thicker. It just keeps it the same, which is uh, like, why is the body so big and the wick so small? Like, come on, really? All right, trade view. If you're watching this, I doubt it, of course. Yeah, that's bothering me a lot. I'm just coming up with an excuse. Anyways. I remember this one. Basically, the target would be this liquidity supply. So, how does this evolve? How does it develop? We got this pivot low. I don't want it to go lower than that. I remember it was like a ladder move. Like it went break down. Or did it bounce? I think it bounced off this, which wouldn't make sense because then it violates the trend. But we will try it. Boom, 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 boom. Enter here. So we're gonna enter here. I'm gonna enter here. Around there. Something like that. I need more information, more information. Okay, we got some information, which is it failed the breakout at the top. We're gonna go for a bounce below, bounce here. There we go. Enter there. We target this area. Bounce. Reject, reject. All the way down to that line. Yep, right there. Enter again. Breakout. And then, yeah, take your profit. Stay above that line. Maybe we touch the liquidity zone above up there. Did we touch it? Did we touch it? Ooh, came close. Does it, 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 does it. Yep, there you go. There we go. Uh-huh. Does it reject? Is that a place to sell or just let it go? Yeah. All right. That was the thesis. That was tough. I mean, even though it was recent, I was still forgetting some parts. So we want to go higher. I guess why the body, the thin body, just a solid place to bounce. You know, a solid foundation, a solid place to bounce is better than a weak spot because pre-markets are kind of weak unless the pre-market is signaling that the move is continuing higher strong like there's a strong move to move up, um, and we can't wait for it to bounce. Like pre-markets are good when there's you can't wait for a better entry. I take the pre-market, but in this situation the pre-market was failing. So okay, failing pre-market means now depend on daily levels for a better entry, and that's what happened. It was a no touch entry, and boom, took off big time. $3
It's 12 o'clock.
from here to here. $3 divided by 16 divided by 3. That's gonna give us around 5.5, 5.3, somewhere right there. So 5x return, not 5x, 5 contracts would have been taken, um, each at 10. 10 times 16 is $160. No, 10 times 5 times 16. So 50 times 16 times 5 times, oh shit. So 50 times 16, that should be easy, man. $800. Yeah. For risking uh, $50. 50 into 800. Obviously, you know, during situations, because it takes me so long to think this through. How long has this stream taken? So it's taken me a while. It's taken me definitely a while, and I can't see the time. I don't even remember what time I started, but divide that by how long, how many. So 5 divided by, sorry, the time this video is divided by 5 is how much it takes for me to process each situation, which is probably longer because I'm doing bar replay. I get to fast forward. So in that time where I don't get to fast forward, there's a lot of overthinking. I get tired quickly and things go out the window. So trading difficult. I do not recommend it. I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye bye. All right, how do I stop the stream?